Someone just texted and says his wife has a business and she can't pay her monthly sales taxes online like she used to be able to. They've given an extra 20 days to the Department of Revenue. I mean, it's just one disaster after another with this guy.
By the way, Howie, do you mind if tomorrow I come in a little bit later to work, probably about 685 minutes late? I just want to make sure that's okay.
Yeah, I know. It's not his fault though, you know. Again, like you say, he's just an innocent bystander.
He's just a cog in this machine. That's all. He's trying to fight City Hall just like you and me.
Yeah, I know. And meanwhile, they're announcing the bar. And again, one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing. They announced that you can have the restaurants and the bars open. This is before St. Patrick's Day. Yet the city of Boston is having a quote unquote emergency meeting today of the bar owners in South Boston, telling them to watch out on St. Patrick's Day. And Charlie Parker is also saying at his press conference, well, we're going to open the restaurants and the sporting venues up a little more to distract you from the disaster of the vaccinations. But those of you who are in areas that celebrate St. Patrick's Day pretty heavily, like, for instance, South Boston, Holyoke, you might want to think about not increasing the capacity until after St. Patrick's Day. Like, everybody's got enough money after being basically shut down for almost a year. They could just wait another 3 weeks to open up and give up one of their best days of the year, St. Patrick's Day.
It's absolutely insane. And I just, it's crazy that it's been a year. I mean, I remember last St. Patrick's Day because people were so upset that the young people in South Boston, I was still living there at the time. They were, outside the bars and they weren't taking it seriously enough. Howie, Charlie Baker is panicking so much at this point, and like you said, he's pivoting to opening things up to distract people. I wouldn't be surprised if by next week he starts saying, guys, this virus, it's not even as bad as you guys are making it out to be. Have you guys seen the numbers? Check out the numbers. It's people. Everyone on the website needs to calm down and stop being so anxious. Okay, it's panic. You're panicking.
Right. Who said this was such a serious problem? This is a seasonal flu when you get right down to it. If you're under the age of 80, and even if you're over the age of 80, you're not in that much danger. Who scared the hell out of you people? What are you, sheep?
Exactly. Howie, this is time for Greece's news. Do you care if I do a little bit of national stuff here just to run through some of these stories?
Go right ahead.
There's a story I saw yesterday, and I laughed out loud while I was reading it. Nancy Pelosi says not to expect any form of a State of the Union address from President Biden until the COVID bill is done. And the reason, Howie, I laughed so hard at this is because I was like, is there a real craving for that right now amongst the people in the United States?
What's that about?
Are people really... I mean, it almost seems like a sort of threat or a incentive to get this COVID bill done. Like, if you guys want to see Joe Biden up there talking off the teleprompter, you better pass this bill, damn it.
Let's play the cut. It's in the intro, but it's pretty funny. This is Nancy Pelosi. Now, last year she called George Floyd George Kirby. She sees everything as, she's over 80 too. She sees everything through an old TV lens. An old sitcoms from the 60s, 70s, 80s. Cut one.
Don Johnson. Was his first name Don? What is it, Ron? Well, Senator, let me call. Not Miami Vice or anything like that. Don Johnson. Ron Johnson.
Is that supposed to be funny? Because I would be embarrassed if I didn't know who that was, and I'm a radio host.
Right.
Shouldn't she know her colleagues?
I mean, he's been in the Senate for at least 10 years. She should know his name, I think, even if she doesn't, have $15 a pint ice cream with him.
I was just going to say, he doesn't eat Jenny's ice cream. He's a Brigham's type of guy. She doesn't associate with those unwashed boat people. Howie, and in other news, I don't know if you saw this. Key Biden aide allegedly said coronavirus was best thing that ever happened to Biden.
Uh-oh. There it is. A gaffe. The Washington definition, inadvertently telling the truth.
According to a new book, one of Joe Biden's chief aides, Anita Dunn, allegedly made a comment that likely isn't going to go over well with people when they hear it. Dunn was the communications director for the Biden campaign, and she said, according to The Guardian, Dunn said to an aide about Biden, "COVID is the best thing that ever happened to him," that campaign officials believed but would never say in public. She allegedly said it when there were rising death tolls, a shattered economy, and the health system close to breaking, making it sound all the more heartless.
Jane Fonda said the same thing.
She said God's gift, Howie.
Same difference.
Yeah, same sentiment, you might say. And I also just wanted to tell you, Howie, that dozens, and you might have hit on this a little bit yesterday, but it is kind of strange. Dozens of House Democrats want Biden to give up sole authority to launch the nuclear weapons. And a lot of people are saying they're getting ready to pass the nuclear football to Kamala Harris and take it away from Joe Biden. And someone
shouldn't there be a transgender illegal alien in the room when that decision is made to unleash Armageddon?
Well, I was always, you know how people say, "Oh, Joe Biden's only going to be in there for 2 years, and then they'll push him out for Kamala." Someone put up the 22nd Amendment today, and it does make sense why they would do that. It said, "No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than once." Right. I wasn't sure if that was just something people were talking about on the internet, but that does make sense.
Yeah, so they keep him in office for a little while. But, if he can't make a State of the Union address, which he obviously can't, how can he continue to be president for 2 years?
Especially when people are used to Trump's, and his was like the Oprah show. He's like, "Listen, you get a car. They're so exciting. It was like reality television.
How would Joe Biden handle those hour and a half long press conferences every night, like Trump had last year? Every night, an hour and a half, and they weren't just questions about how many logs did you throw on the fire last night? What's your favorite Matlock episode? They weren't questions like that Trump was fielding.
And what kind of breed are your dogs? Which one's the older one? And by the way, Joe, we noticed that last week you played as Luigi when you played Mario Kart, but did you switch up characters this week? Because you strike me as a Mario kind of guy. Guys, Grace's News is brought to you by Toyota of Portsmouth, the house of value. I love my Toyota, but even better was the experience of leasing it. It was so nice. It was personalized. We moved at my own pace. They don't put pressure on you, which is, something that happens a lot at these car dealerships, but not a Toyota. And they also have service after your purchase, which is great. They're located just south of the Portsmouth traffic circle off 95. Go to toyotaofportsmouth.com or visit them at the showroom and tell them Grace sent you. That's toyotaofportsmouth.com. And lastly, Howie, before I let you go, I know that you've been listening to Obama and the Bosses podcast. Did you know that he finally talked about why he never pursued reparations for slavery?
It probably had something to do with Mr. Charlie.
He said that
the
it was
honkies, in other words.
It was a non-starter, and there's this whole thing. It made a lot of sense, but and then he talked about how when someone called him a racial slur, he punched them in the face and broke their nose. I know, we talked about that. I thought about making that the poll question. Which more believable, that he punched someone in the face and broke his nose, or that he had a composite girlfriend, or that if you like your health care plan, you can keep your health care plan, or that he would lower the sea level, or that he wouldn't raise taxes on anybody who made less than $250,000. You could do an almost infinite number of options on that. Howie,
question.
Could I add in one option, please?
What?
I feel like the person whose nose he might have broken was T-Bone.
You think so? You be Cory Booker's friend?
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't Corn Pop?
These fictional characters, Howie, they all hang out together. With unicorns.
Composite characters. I like that. That sounds like a Boston Globe Metro column. Composite characters. Another word for composite characters, made up characters.
Oh, they're just living their personal truth, Howie. It might not add up with the facts, but it's their personal truth.
That's true. Okay. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate it. Last summer, I had a dental emergency, and where did I go? Perfect Smiles. I've said this before, but was reminded of what a perfectionist Dr. Houghton is. He is a veneer engineer and a world-class dental artist. Being on TV, it's important that I look my best. Dr. Houghton did that for me, and he can do it for you too now. We're in a climate right now where a lot of people don't want to go into the city for whatever reasons. Perfect Smiles is conveniently located in Nashua, New Hampshire, right off the interstate highway. Parking is plentiful. Parking is free. I was impressed to see all the state-of-the-art safety protocols they've taken since the virus. Some of them even make it more pleasant to go to the dentist than it used to be. And you can't neglect your teeth just because of what's been going on for the last year. If your teeth start giving you trouble, your gums, you're going to be in a world of hurt, and you'll regret it. Feel safe and confident. Visit Perfect Smiles and keep your teeth in good working order. To see for yourself and get your perfect smile, call 1-844-A-PERFECT-SMILE or go to HowieCarrShow.com and click on the Perfect Smiles banner. You can also see my video at PerfectSmiles.com. Perfect Smiles. Change your smile, change your life. I'm Howie Carr.
The Howie Carr Show.